This is the $6 million watch collection of NBA legend LeBron James. In this video, we're going to break down all 23 of his watches by brand, starting with the GOAT of all watch brands for the greatest of all time NBA player. Just kidding, that's Michael Jordan. Before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. First up on the list, LeBron owns this Rolex Daytona, otherwise known as the Eye of the Tiger. That's made out of 18 karat yellow gold, features a bezel made up of 38 baguette cut diamonds, and a dial consisting of princess cut diamonds, with a market value of around $200,000. He owns another Rolex Daytona, also in yellow gold, but with a green dial, otherwise known as the John Mayer, that you can find with a market price of around 75 grand. He also owns this rose gold Rolex Yachtmaster with a diamond dial, also paired with an Oyster Flex bracelet that'll cost you around 45 grand. Here in this photo, he wears a unique out of catalog Rolex Day-Date that's nicknamed the Puzzle because of its mesmerizing multicolored puzzle dial. His is made up of 18 karat yellow gold, and a cool feature about this watch is the traditional day and date window were changed to display different emojis and phrases. I've yet to find one of these on the market, but if you were to pay retail, it's going to cost you $61,500. Market value on this is probably over six figures. LeBron owns this Rolex ProMaster 39 that has gradient blue and green baguette cut sapphires and features an 18 karat yellow gold casing and a dial consisting of diamond indices that has a market value of around $65,000. At an NBA game in March, he wore this steel Rolex GMT Master 2 that's paired with a Jubilee bracelet that's nicknamed the Sprite because of its green and black ceramic bezel, and it has the nickname Lefty because it's the first left-handed wristwatch ever made by Rolex, with the crown position at 9 instead of the traditional 3 o'clock. You can find this on the market for around 19 grand. LeBron here wears one of my Grail watches. That's one of dozens. Here in this shot, he wears a rare platinum Rolex Day-Date with Arabic numerals that has an ice blue dial and baguette diamond bezel that's only available for sale at retailers in the Middle East for a retail price of $119,000, but has a market value of around 160 grand. LeBron's other Rolex Day-Date is one of the more sought after models. This reference 228235 in Everose gold with an olive green dial that has a market value of around 50 grand. And if you're gonna own two Rolex Day-Dates, you may as well own three, which he does. This one here is in yellow gold with a black and Roman numeral dial that you can find on the market for around $45,000. And two of the cheaper Rolex models he owns is this Rolex Oyster Perpetual in steel with a red dial that you can find for around 17 grand. And he also owns another one, but with a Tiffany blue colored dial that'll set you back around 25 grand. Next up in LeBron's collection are watches by Audemars Piguet. At 6'9", 250 pounds, he can pull off some pretty big watches. Unlike me, who's 5'10" and 170 pounds soaking wet. And I am 5'10", not 5'9", so you better not try me in the comments. So of course, at a guy of his size, he's gonna own some Royal Oak offshores. Like this white gold chronograph with 341 brilliant cut diamonds on the case and dial that are selling for around $120,000. And of course, his own offshore that he teamed up with AP in 2013 to create. That's a limited edition piece made out of titanium and rose gold that are selling on the market for around 85 grand. He owns the one of only 250 pieces made Royal Oak concept Black Panther flying tourbillon that was a collaboration between AP and Marvel. I'm not the biggest fan of this collab, but if you are, you can be one of the 250 owners for a market price of around $300,000. In addition to his Black Panther flying tourbillon, he owns a few other AP tourbillons. One of these pieces is the Royal Oak Offshore Tourbillon, the 25th anniversary that's in steel. That's limited to only 50 pieces and on the market for around 350 grand. If you really like a watch, why not get it twice, which LeBron did here in this case, because he has one in rose gold as well that's also limited to only 50 pieces that are selling for around 430 grand. He owns a few other Royal Oaks, like this one here that's in black ceramic with an open work dial and a size of 41 millimeters. That'll set you back around 250 grand. Of course, he owns another one with an open work dial, but this one here is in white gold with a frosted white gold finish that sell for around $215,000. He owns the 50th anniversary Royal Oak Jumbo Extra Thin that's in yellow gold with a smoked dial that retails for 70 grand but commands a market price of double that at around $150,000. He also owns this Royal Oak chronograph with a green dial that has a market price of around $300,000. So I got a question. I know there's a huge price difference between these watches, but are you taking the yellow gold green dial Rolex Daytona, or are you taking the yellow gold green dial AP Chrono? Let me know in the comments which would you choose. And of course, he owns one of my favorite watches from AP, this Royal Oak Tourbillon Extra Thin that's made out of rose gold, set with 32 baguette cut sapphires, and has ruby hour markers. And a market price of around $600,000. Oh, I need to make more money. Watch my YouTubes. And last but certainly not least of its Royal Oaks is this blue ceramic perpetual calendar that if you wanted to buy, the market price on this watch right now is around $550,000. Next up in LeBron's collection are watches by Patek Philippe, where he owns this Sky Moon Celestial made out of rose gold and has a rotating sky chart that sell for around 360 grand. He also owns a rose gold Aquanaut. This one here is the travel time version that'll cost you around 110 grand. He owns a few Nautiluses from Patek, like this Chronograph 5980 in rose gold that'll set you back around 200,000. And of course, he's one of only 170 owners of the Tiffany Patek Philippe Nautilus reference 5711. That's by far the most expensive watch in his collection, with the market value of around $2 million for a watch that's made out of steel. That's crazy. These next watches in his collection I feel like are the go-to watch brand for athletes these days. And the brand I'm referring to is Richard Mille, where he owns a few RM11s like this Felipe Massa that's in rose gold and was named after the former Brazilian F1 driver that you can find for around $215,000. You can see him wearing here another RM1103, this one in a red carbon TPT casing that has a market value of around $400,000. And he also owns this RM1103 called the Jean Tote with a blue case made of NTPT blue carbon and black carbon that you can find on the market for around $500,000. So question for you that I want you to leave in the comments, out of these, if you had your choice, what would you choose? Because if I had my choice, I'm taking the rose gold and sapphire Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Tourbillon. And also comment below whose watch collection you want me to do next. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week.